I won't waste your time with unnecessary words. My sole purpose is to help you get the best value for your money and find exactly the product you need. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the world of tech to find out what is actually worth your hard-earned money. Today we are looking at something that almost seems like a mistake when you see the price tag on the shelf. Imagine bringing home a massive 75-inch display for less than what most people pay for a high-end smartphone. We are talking about the Onn 75-inch Class 4K UHD Roku Smart TV, which is currently shaking up the budget market. For many shoppers, this is the ultimate dream of owning a home theater without having to break the bank. But as your product research specialist, I have to ask the question that everyone is thinking right now. How can a screen this large be sold at such an incredibly low price point compared to the big-name brands? We are going to peel back the layers to see if this is a hidden gem or just a massive piece of plastic taking up space. This video is all about finding out if the picture quality can actually hold up for your favorite movies and sports. We will explore the built-in Roku platform to see if the interface stays snappy or if it starts to lag under pressure. It is one thing to have a giant screen, but it is another thing entirely to have a screen that you actually enjoy watching every night. I have spent time researching the build quality and the panel technology to give you the honest truth about this bargain. Whether you are looking for a cheap upgrade for your living room or a dedicated screen for the kids' playroom, we have the answers. We are going to look at the brightness levels and the color accuracy to see where the company decided to cut corners. There are always trade-offs when you pay this little for so much screen real estate, and we are going to find them all. Stick around as we break down the specs and the real-world performance of the cheapest 75-inch TV you can find today. You might be surprised at what a budget brand can actually achieve in 2025. Let us get into the details and find out if this giant display is the right choice for your home. Unboxing and physical design realities. Stepping into the world of ultra-budget home cinema starts with a box so large it barely fits through a standard front door. When you first encounter the Onn 75-inch television, the sheer physical presence of the unit is enough to make any tech enthusiast take a second look. It represents a massive shift in the market where giant screens are no longer reserved only for those with thousands of dollars to spend. The first thing you notice during the unboxing process is that the packaging is surprisingly secure for such an affordable product. Lifting this giant panel onto a stand or mounting it on a wall definitely requires two people due to its significant wingspan. The exterior design follows a very minimalist aesthetic with thin black bezels that try to give it a more modern and premium appearance. While the chassis is primarily made of lightweight plastic, it feels sturdy enough to sit safely on your media console for years to come. The feet are simple and functional, providing a stable base that prevents the large screen from wobbling during use. As your product research specialist, I noticed that the ports are tucked away on the side for relatively easy access even when wall-mounted. You get a standard selection of inputs that allow you to connect your gaming consoles and soundbars without much trouble. Setting it up for the first time is a very straightforward process thanks to the integrated software that guides you through every single step. The initial physical impression is one of simple utility, where the focus is clearly on the size of the glass rather than fancy metal finishes. You realize very quickly that you are paying for the massive real estate and not for artisan craftsmanship or expensive materials. Setup, connectivity, and initial impressions. However, the screen itself has a matte finish that does a decent job of diffusing reflections from lamps or windows in your room. It is a no-nonsense approach to hardware that prioritizes getting a big picture into your living room as quickly as possible. The power cable is a standard length and the internal speakers are tucked away at the bottom of the frame to keep the front clean. You can see where the manufacturing costs were saved by looking at the thickness of the profile compared to ultra-thin high-end models. But once you step back and look at the screen from your sofa, those minor aesthetic details start to fade away into the background. It looks like a window into another world just because of the massive 4K resolution panel sitting right in front of you. The remote control included in the box is the classic and familiar design that millions of people already know and love. It feels light in the hand, but the buttons are responsive and provide a satisfying click when you navigate the various menus. Everything about the physical setup phase is designed to be accessible for the average consumer who just wants a big TV. There are no complicated calibration tools or strange proprietary screws needed to get everything up and running smoothly. You will appreciate how easy it is to lift the panel onto its legs, even if the size makes the process look a bit intimidating at first. The cooling vents are strategically placed to ensure the internal components stay at a safe temperature during long movie marathons. Even the cardboard box it comes in provides a helpful guide on how to safely handle such a large piece of fragile glass. It is clear that the brand focused on efficiency and reliability rather than trying to win any design awards for thinness or style. This is a practical machine built for one specific purpose, which is providing maximum viewing area for the lowest possible price point. You won't find any hidden luxury features here, but you also won't find anything that feels dangerously cheap or poorly assembled. It is a solid foundation for a budget home theater that makes an immediate impact on the visual scale of your entire room. Every time you walk into the living room, the sheer size of the 75-inch display will remind you of the incredible value you found. It sets the stage for a viewing experience that was once impossible to achieve for such a small financial investment. We are looking at a true democratizing force in the television industry that brings the cinema home to everyone. Panel quality and 4K visual performance. When you press the power button for the first time, you are immediately greeted by the bright and colorful Roku interface, which looks impressive on such a massive scale. The 75-inch panel uses standard LED backlighting, which is designed to provide a clear and consistent image across the entire surface of the screen. At this price point, you are getting a native 4K resolution that delivers 8 million pixels to create a much sharper image than older high-definition models. As your product research specialist, I noticed that the color reproduction is surprisingly vibrant for a television that costs so little compared to its rivals. You get support for HDR10, which helps to bring out more detail in the highlights and shadows of your favorite modern movies and streaming shows. However, it is important to understand that this is a basic direct lit panel, so you should not expect the perfect black levels of an expensive OLED display. In a dark room, you might notice some slight grayness in the darkest scenes where a premium TV would show deep and inky blacks. The brightness levels sit at around 350 nits, which is plenty for a standard living room, but might struggle against direct sunlight from a window. One of the most impressive things about the Onn 75-inch model is how well it handles the upscaling of older non-4K content. When you watch standard cable TV or older YouTube videos, the internal processor does a decent job of smoothing out the edges to fill the massive screen. The 60Hz refresh rate is perfectly adequate for watching movies and your favorite TV series without noticing any significant motion blur or judder. While it may not be the ultimate choice for competitive pro gamers, it handles casual console gaming with very respectable input lag and responsiveness. You will find that playing open-world adventures or sports games feels smooth and immersive due to the sheer size of the visual field. The viewing angles are decent enough for a family sofa, but you might see some slight color shifting if you are sitting at an extreme side angle. Contrast, uniformity, and HDR reality. This is a common characteristic of the VA panels often used in budget televisions to provide better contrast ratios in exchange for narrower viewing angles. If you are planning to host a large party for a big game, just make sure the primary seating is arranged somewhat centrally to the screen. I was pleasantly surprised to find that the panel uniformity is quite good, with very little evidence of the dirty screen effect that plagues some cheap displays. You won't see many distracting dark patches or bright spots when the screen is showing a solid color like a clear blue sky or a green football field. The contrast ratio is actually one of the strengths of this specific model, providing a punchy image that looks great for everyday casual viewing. You get a variety of picture modes like movie and vivid and sports, which allow you to quickly adjust the look to suit your personal preference. I recommend sticking to the movie mode if you want the most accurate colors and a more natural skin tone for the actors on screen. The sharpness settings are dialed in well right out of the box, so you don't get that harsh and artificial over-sharpened look on textures. It is important to manage your expectations when it comes to peak HDR performance, because the hardware lacks the local dimming zones found on high-end sets. This means you won't get that searing brightness from a flashlight in a dark scene, but the overall image still feels dynamic and engaging. For the vast majority of users who just want a big and clear picture for Netflix or Disney Plus, this panel exceeds the baseline requirements. It proves that you do not need to spend a fortune to get a sharp and detailed image that fills your entire field of vision. The matte texture of the screen helps significantly with glare reduction, which is a huge plus if you have lamps positioned behind your seating area. Even with its technical limitations, the sheer scale of 75 inches creates an immersive experience that smaller and better panels simply cannot match. You find yourself noticing small details in the background of scenes that you would have completely missed on a 55-inch television. The processor stays relatively snappy when switching between different picture settings, even if it isn't the fastest chip on the market today. It is a well-balanced display that prioritizes what matters most to the average viewer, which is a big and bright and colorful image. You are getting exactly what you pay for, which is a massive canvas that brings the theater experience into your home for a fraction of the cost. It is a testament to how far display technology has come that a budget brand can offer such a competent 4K experience at this size. While it won't win any professional color grading awards, it will certainly satisfy your craving for a massive home cinema setup on a budget. Every time you watch an action movie, you will appreciate the scale and the impact that only a 75-inch screen can provide. It makes every movie night feel like a special event, regardless of the fact that the TV was a total bargain. We have explored the visual soul of this machine and found that it punches way above its weight class for the price. This panel is the heart of the value proposition, and it delivers exactly where it needs to for a budget-friendly household. The Roku interface and smart features. When it comes to the daily experience of using this massive display, the built-in Roku Smart platform is truly the star of the show. It is widely considered to be one of the most user-friendly and stable operating systems available on any television today, regardless of the price. You get a very clean and grid-based home screen that puts your favorite streaming apps like Netflix and YouTube and Hulu right in front of you. Navigating through the menus is a quick and responsive experience because the software is optimized to run efficiently even on budget-friendly hardware. As your product research specialist, I appreciate that Roku does not clutter your screen with intrusive ads or complicated submenus that are hard to find. You can easily search for your favorite movies or actors across all platforms simultaneously, which saves you a lot of time and frustration. The television also supports the free Roku mobile app, which allows you to turn your smartphone into a fully functional remote control. One of the best features of this app is private listening, which lets you plug headphones into your phone so you can watch your giant TV without waking up the rest of the house. On the physical side, the television comes with a decent number of HDMI ports to support your soundbars and gaming consoles and Blu-ray players. While the internal speakers are functional and clear enough for news or dialogue, they are naturally limited by the slim design of the TV frame. If you want a sound experience that matches the massive scale of the 75-inch visuals, I highly recommend adding a dedicated soundbar. The audio lacks deep bass, but it provides enough volume to fill a medium-sized room without distorting at higher levels. For those who use voice assistants, you will be happy to know that this model works perfectly with Apple AirPlay and Google Home and Amazon Alexa. You can easily cast photos and videos from your phone directly to the big screen with just a couple of taps. The TV also handles software updates automatically in the background, so you always have the latest features and security patches without lifting a finger. I noticed that the Wi-Fi connectivity is stable and strong enough to stream 4K content smoothly as long as your router is within a reasonable range. If you prefer a more stable connection, there is an Ethernet port available on the back for a direct wired setup. The power consumption is also surprisingly efficient for such a large panel, which helps keep your electricity bill under control over the long term. Efficiency, longevity, and practical usage. As we look at the total package, it becomes clear that the value here is not just in the size of the screen but in the ease of use. This is a television that anyone in the family, from small children to grandparents, can operate without needing a technical manual. It is designed to be a reliable entertainment hub that stays out of your way and just lets you enjoy your content. When you consider the price per inch of screen real estate, this Onn model is currently unbeatable in the global market. You are getting a legitimate 4K Smart TV experience for a price that used to only buy you a much smaller and basic display. The build quality is consistent, and the reliability of the Roku platform means you won't be dealing with constant crashes or software bugs. There are no fancy bells and whistles like local dimming or high refresh rates for pro gaming, but it covers the basics exceptionally well. It is the perfect choice for a secondary living room or a dedicated basement theater where you want maximum impact for minimum cost. After looking at all the data and testing the performance, my final verdict is that this is a smart and safe investment for budget-conscious buyers. You are trading off premium black levels and high-end finishes for a cinematic experience that was once a luxury item. For most people, the trade-off is more than fair, and the satisfaction of having a 75-inch screen is worth every penny. It represents a victory for consumers who want modern technology without the traditional high-end price tag associated with big brands. Final verdict: is it worth the money? As your product research specialist, I can confidently say that this TV delivers on its promise of a big screen at a small price. It doesn't try to compete with luxury models that cost 5 times as much, but it excels in its own category. You'll find that movie nights become much more exciting and sports games much more immersive with such a large screen. This is a sensible purchase that delivers exactly what's on the box, with no hidden surprises. We've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of ultra-budget giant screens, and this model has proven its worth. Thank you for entrusting me with the research to help you make the best decision for your home and budget. If this analysis helped you make a decision, please hit the like button and subscribe for more honest tech reviews. Your support helps me continue to bring you the best product research online every week. I'm your product research expert, and I can't wait to see you in our next video where we uncover more hidden gems. Enjoy your new home theater experience and see you in the next video.